Hello, my name is Lou Samsa. I've been teaching guitar for about 45 years. Anyway, I've been here at Overbeek's for about 7 or 8 years. And today, one of my students here, Johanna, is, I'm going to surprise her with a lesson today. We haven't really discussed anything, but we're going to talk about the 4 basic triads in music, which are, and I believe she knows this, the 4 basic triads are?
Major, minor, diminished, and augmented.
Yes, major, minor, diminished, and augmented. And I just, a moment ago, I did ask her the notes of a C chord, and she told me they were what?
C, E, and G.
Yes, C, E, G. So I'm going to have her play a little C triad just using the first 3 strings. So go ahead and try to play a little C triad using the first 3 strings. Yes, so a C chord is made up of a root third fifth, which, of course, if you study music, you'll be learning all these things. And she has the C, E, G here on the first 3 strings. C is on the second string there, the E is on the first string, and the G is on the 3rd string. Now, I'm going to ask her to find the next C chord on those same 3 strings. So what she'll need to do is take the C and move it up to the E note, and then she's going to need to move the E up to the G note, and she'll need to move the G up to what note?
C.
Yes, she'll move the G note up to C. So let's see if you can try this here.
Okay. So the C up to the E to B. Right here.
Good, so she found one of her notes. She took the C note and she moved it up to E. Now she's got 2 more notes she has to move up.
Okay.
And while she's thinking about it, I'll explain something. Go ahead, you figure out your next 2 notes.
Okay.
What we're doing right now is just figuring out how to play these little C major triads just using the first 3 strings. And there'll end up being 3 shapes. There'll be this little C here, the next little C triad on the first 3 strings, and the next one. Since these are 3-note chords, they're also called triple stops. So besides calling them triads, they're also called a triple stop. 3-note chords. Now, this last one that I played, here's the first one, the second one, the third one, and I still have the same 3 notes in all 3 of these little triads. C, E, G there, C, E, G, C, E, G. And if I move this one to the next one, I will be up here, which is an octave higher than the very first C triad. So if somebody was actually playing a C chord, in fact, Johanna, why don't you just play this little C chord and country pick it. When I say country pick it, that just means using some alternate bass notes, very indicative of the country genre. And I will just play those little C triads as she's playing a C chord. So that just made things a little bit more exciting. Rather than me just playing this C chord down here like her, it's just fun to play these other little C triads. Shortly, she learns how to play them on the second 3 strings, the third 3 strings, and then the last 3 strings. There's actually 12 of these. And not only does this hold true for the major triads, this also holds true for the 3 remaining triads of music, which are minor, diminished, and
augmented.
Very good, very good. So, we learn how to do all those, and then after she'll also be learning about the chords of a key. So this, there's so many avenues to use these triads. In fact, while she's doing that little C chord again, not only will I play the little C triads, I'll also play D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished, and they all work over the C chord. And the reason has to do with the theory of music, which we eventually learn. So let's play that little C chord again. A little louder, please.